Hello friends, welcome to Coding Simplified. In last tutorial, we learned about the variables, expression, comments, and then literals. So in today's tutorial, we'll check about the Java data types, like how many data types we have. So first we'll study about the primitive data type. Primitive because they are basic. They are not object data types and any other data types, right? So mainly in Java we have 8 kind of primitive data types, which is for the integer data types, which are bytes, short, integer, and long. Then we have decimal data types, which is float and double. Then we have character data type, and then we have Boolean data type, right? So now about the range. Each data types contain a specific range so that it can store that value or a particular value. For example, the byte size is 1 byte, short size is 2 byte, integer size is 4 byte, long is 8 byte, float can contain 4 byte values, and double can contain 8 byte value. Similarly for character, 2 byte. So the fundamental range is calculated as minus 2 raised to our n minus 1 to 2 raised to our n minus 1, where n is bit. So byte is 1 byte equal to 8 bit. So for example, for the byte we can calculate it is minus 2 raised to our 7 to 2 raised to our 7 minus 1, so which is as minus 128 to 127. Similarly for the short we have range from minus 32768 to 32767. Accordingly we can define or we can identify the range of integer as well as for the long. Okay, so now we'll start one by one from the integer, like how we can define and what are the different concept here, right? So first we'll start from the byte. So for example, you say byte b equals to 8, so that is a valid value, right? Because this is in the range. Similarly we can define short as equals to 34, right? Similarly we can define int I equals to 23, again this is valid number. And we can define long L equal to, this is again valid. Okay, so friends, here is a concept that whatever integer literal you are defining is by default an integer value, right? So by default it is type implicit typecasting if it isn't in the range. So we'll take example of byte. For example, if you are defining here 8, this is valid number, right? Again, if you define here this like for example 127, this is valid. But as soon as you are defining it 130, this is not valid, this is out of the range, right? So it will give cannot convert from int to byte. So why it is saying you into byte? Because by default this is an integer, okay, and it is trying to convert to byte value, which is not feasible, right? And so again I'm going to tell you one concept here which is very important in Java, and which is typecasting, right? We cannot define the higher range value in the lower range value, right? So we say it like this is a typecasting rule here. For example, like you can assign a byte to a short, or you can assign an integer value to a long, but vice versa you cannot do. Like you cannot assign long value to integer, right? So that's not possible. So similarly in this case 130 is out of range because the range is still 127. So this is saying this is an integer value, and this is out of range and I cannot assign in the byte, so this will give you an error, right? So we cannot define it. So for the typecasting, again you can take an example. So if you say, for example, you have integer I equals to 23, or okay, let's take example. Oh, please let's correct it. Okay, so integer I equal to 23. Okay, now I want to change b equals to 45. Okay, my byte was 30, then b equal to 45, right? Again this will, okay, But now if I assign b equals to I and I is an integer, so this will give you an error even though it is in range, like 23 it is in range of byte, but this will give you an error. So again the same error, cannot convert from integer to byte. So for it we need to do typecasting. So if you give as byte, now this will accept it because it is saying okay, now it is in my range as well as it is byte, so I don't have any problem with it, right? So this is the typecasting funda. So guys, please always remember this funda, like short can store the byte values, integer can store the short values. All right. And again there is a little funda here, that as by default all integer values are by default integer. So for long, Java have a specific notion that if you give this L, so it say okay, this long is this 2 3 4 5 is a long value, or even you can define it as this L. So both are okay, small n as well as the long n. Okay, so this was about the integer data type. So now we'll go to the decimal data type. So decimals we have float and double. So by default any decimal value, so by default any decimal values we are defining is double. So this the 1.2 is double value. So that's why, okay, there's a mistake here. Yeah, now it's correct. So by default it is double value, so it's giving you an error like cannot convert from double to float. So for this also we have 2 or 3 options. Either we define it as float, so it will say okay, 1.2 is float value and now it's okay. Or in Java we have this, like you can define it like 1.2f, so now it will understand okay, this 1.2 is float value, or by capital F, right? And now again double d equals to 2.3, let's assume. Okay, so now it says okay, 2.3 is double value and we are assigning it to double, so that's okay. It does not have any problem. So again in Java you can define it as 2.3d or 2.3 capital D, so both are okay, right? But you cannot say that f equals to d, right? Because again you are passing the long range values to the short range values and this is not feasible. But yes, you can assign d equals to f, it will not have any problem because now it's implicit typecasting, we need not to do any typecasting, right? And it is lower range value, we are assigning to the higher range values. So this was about the decimal data types. Now come to character. So character, as you know, that a string is made of characters. So we define in Java as like this, for example C equals to capital A, so this is valid, and character range is 2 byte. Okay, sorry friends, I didn't tell you about the range of float and double. So float is of 4 byte values and double is of 8 byte size, and character is of 2 byte size. So similarly you can say C equals to small a also. So characters internally they define in Unicode and the range is from 0 to 65535. Okay, this is giving error due to a semicolon. Yep. Okay, so now come to the last primitive data type, which is Boolean. So Boolean is logic values, logical values, either true or false. So we say true, okay, or we can define it as like p equals to false. So again this is correct. So friend, this was all about the primitive data types, and if you have any problem then please write in comments, and in next tutorial we'll see about the operators in Java, like what kind of operators we have and how it will help in calculations of expressions. So thank you friends, that's all about the data types, and if you like my video then please subscribe my channel and like my videos. Okay, thank you.